Alright guys, what I have for you today is another PS4 controller. It's in a nice condition really. So I don't know what the issue is with this, but we'll find out. So let's plug this up to the PlayStation and connect it to the TV. So we have that plugged in. Let's plug this in. Let's turn that on. Okay, let me just position you better so you can see what the issue is on the TV. Alright, so we're facing the TV now, so let's have a look. So there's the controller plugged in. So, oh, what's going on here? So all of the buttons seems to work except when I... okay, alright, cool. So if you have a look, I'm pressing down on the analog and all it does, it just flickers the screen. So regardless of either one of these. Okay, so I suspect there's a problem with the left analog stick here. So as soon as I press down... okay, cool. So let's disassemble this. I'll position you on the workbench and then let's pull this apart. And let's replace this joystick here, the left one. Alright. Okay, so now let's pull this apart. Got my screwdriver, so 4 screws. Okay, so there's no screws on these. So someone's obviously opened these up because there's no screws on here. Okay, well that's alright then. So let's open this up. Just the clicking tabs, and then there's that ribbon cable. Remember the orientation of where the cable goes. Okay, so that's out. Yep, most definitely someone's been in here. So let's pull this apart. And there's just these locking tabs. Okay, so this one's screwed down. Let's take that out. So at least there's one screw inside here. Let's take this off. Let's pull this out. Okay. It's out, and then just desolder these points from the motherboard. So the motor wires. Okay, so if you're doing this, so if you have a look at the controller, what you could do is just put a mark on there. That's what I might do. So let's, so where the black lead goes, I'm just going to put a little dot so I know which one's the negative, which one's the positive. I don't think it matters, but if it is that way, then let's put it back the way it is. Essentially it would just sends a signal to it and then vibrates. Because these are DC motors, don't think it matters the orientation of which way the positive and the negative feed goes, but put it back the way it was. That's what we're going to do. So desolder it, and let's remove this from its housing. So there's a tab here and there's a tab over here. So alright, that's out. Oops. Okay, there we go. It's just the connection for that goes onto here. Okay, so this controller is quite good. It's actually in a better condition. Okay, so let's have a look at which one it was. So we went that way. Yep, so it will be this one here. So let's grab my marker again so I don't confuse myself. Just put a dot there just so I know which one I'm supposed to take off. Oh, whoops, not that one. That one. So not that one. So it's this left one here. So let's just grab a little bit of IPA just wipe that off. Okay, so cradle wants to come off as well. Okay, so that's out. Then okay, so it's this one here because obviously the controller's like that. So let's remove these, put them aside. There's a lot of hair stuck on here, so take those off. Okay, so let me grab my jig, my proper jig that is. Just this one here. This is very nice. Bought it from JCar, so I put a link in the description so you guys can purchase it if you like. It's very nice. You can adjust it the way you want it to be, where you want it to sit and so forth, so it's very nice. So you set it up like that, and then there's these lock-in screws at the bottom that you just tighten, and then there's that spring that keeps the tension. Yep, and nice. So it's cool because you can rotate it, and this slides back and forth to whatever dimension of board you're working on. So I am gonna just move this back because I want to work in this section, so I'm gonna hold it about there. That should be enough. Okay, so that's not going to go anywhere. Right, nice and steady. Cool. Alright, now let me just grab some aluminium tape just so I can protect the section here. And let's have a look on the other side. Yeah, okay. Yep, so I'm gonna put aluminium tape around here, just because there's electrical components there. So these diodes and resistors, very tiny ones, and I do not want to misplace those. Okay, so there's that, and then I'm going to use this to shield this section here. Okay, then flip it over. A little bit more because there's a connector there, so just to be a little bit safe, because I don't want to melt that connector off, and that way the battery won't go back on. The battery, that's for the battery connector. Okay, so that can just go on like that. That'll be fine. You don't have to do this, but I do it because I don't want to damage anything else. So that's the one we're taking off. Now again, let me zoom you in. Okay. Again, so what I'm going to do is come in with my flux, as well as a little bit of fresh solder. Just so I could redo the joints. Just get them to reflow a lot better. Okay, and then some fresh solder. You don't have to go too much, just enough so the joint takes the solder and you can see it turning shiny. And then just work it back and forth. Again, you don't have to do this step, but it's the way I do it, and I feel that for me it works quite well. Okay, so that's done. Now let me grab my hot air gun. Let's turn that on and bring that up to 400. Right, so that's my gun. So what I'm just doing is just reflowing it. So okay, let me put you there so you can see. Okay, just take your time. Just work it around. Just gonna press this down. Okay. You'll start to see that solder turn nice and silver. So that's what you want to see. And then it should be able to work its way down. Okay, just going to hold on to that. There you go. That's out. Okay, so that's the old one. I will go and find a new one. So if I do that, I am going to clean this. So again, I've got my heat gun. And just apply a little bit of heat, suck it up, and then just going to tighten that so it doesn't go anywhere. You could reflow the solder and then just insert the new joystick in, but I try not to, because I want the joints to have fresh solder. Okay, cool, that's done. Yep, that's done. Let's put this away, spin this off. And now, let it cool down for a little bit. And let's put some fresh flux into these joints. And let me find a replacement one. Okay, so here we go. Here we have the old one, here we have the new one. So let's get rid of that. Let's use this one. So again, what I do is I line this up on the board prior to soldering it down, just so I know that it's so. Okay, so let's get rid of this. I think it's just plastic just melts onto the board. Okay, so let's try this. So not that way, that way. Yep, nice. Let's flip it over. Get a bit of flux into those joints. Okay, and then just press up on it, just so it's seating properly. And then again I start from this corner here. So just hold it there for a couple of seconds. And I do the mountings first, so the big joints that hold it to the board. And then I do this one here. This jig is quite nice because it holds all types of boards, bigger ones, smaller ones. It's quite nice. It's not too expensive either. It's about $22, $24 at JCar, so it's worth it. Because I was using a voice and that kind of didn't. I mean, it worked, but it wasn't the best. Okay, so that's done. Move it. Yeah, it's fine. That's seating okay. Alright, let me grab some acetone again. I tend to use acetone a bit more than I use isopropyl because I just like how it cleans up. So it doesn't take with isopropyl. You can use isopropyl, it's no problem, but I prefer acetone. Let's clean all of this. Clean. So sometimes it's good to clean it when it's nice and warm, not hot but nice and warm. But yeah, I don't really do that. I do it when it's cooled off, because acetone takes it off a lot easier, and it dries up faster. Isopropyl, I think it leaves a little bit of moisture behind. I don't like that. Okay, so that's that. Take that. Sorry, loosen that. Let's loosen. Comes off. Okay, so that connector is still the same, hasn't melted off. And then all of this, nice, all the components are still there. Let's clean this area. nice and clean. Great. Let's put that away. And now let's reassemble this. Very easy. So this connector has gone underneath this with the touchpad connector. It's gone underneath this. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, that's cool. And before I install this, what I do is I clean these contacts as well as those ones there on the board, just so it has a cleaner contact. For this I use isopropyl. I don't use acetone for that because it'll take off the markings. So just with a little brush, clean that as well as that, and then just wipe away the moisture. Same thing with this. Right, let's get the thumbsticks on. Let's get that one on. It goes this way. Press down. And the touchpad connector goes on. Nice. Okay, and that one goes over the top. Okay. Like I said, it doesn't really matter too much which orientation you have it on. It is a DC motor, so the motor will just either turn this way or clockwise or counterclockwise. So it's done. And let's get this on. Grab my screw. I will obviously have to find, I might just contact the person who this controller belongs to and ask them where the rest of the screw is. So if he doesn't have it, then I will. If he has it, then obviously I don't need to put some in because he can use the old one. But if he doesn't, then I'll have to find some for him. So that's done. The last one is this. Again, remember, if you're not sure which way it goes, have a look at which side the grooves are on the pins inside, and that's the way it will line up. Cool. That's that. It's flashing away. Still working. Alright, so let's plug up the Ps4. Let's test this out. So I'll position you towards the TV so we can have a look at what if it's actually fixed it, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we've got the Ps4 plugged up, so it's asking us to press the Ps4 PS button on the controller, so let's do that. Let's press that so it's connected. Let's do that. Let's have a look. So I haven't tested this at all, so there you go. Easy. So easy. Cool. So that's pretty much it. So it's working fine. So if you have this issue, just replace the joystick. They are available on AliExpress, eBay, or other online sites. So you can purchase the joysticks. Remember, that's what we replaced. Little joystick. It is a potentiometer So it's just resistance on this side and then that side there that it measures, and then it looks to correct it. So there you go. So even the directional pad is working now. Remember before, if we pressed down, it'll just jump back up. So there you go. So hopefully this has helped somebody out there, and thank you for watching.